Hello, everybody. Thank you guys for joining us. Today is a special show. We've got Lance Schuttler backstage. Before I bring him up, I did want to share screen for those of you that are new to the channel and those of you that have just found me again. I want to share screen with my new website. So it's arcanashores.net. And there is a special right now. It's a little bit of a deeper spiritual therapy is what I call it. So tarot, yes, is still available on the website. But now it's spiritual therapy is what I'm getting into, and I'm sharing this. So it's a 30-minute 4 sessions. So it's 4 sessions a month for 30 minutes for $144. But this is ideal for anyone that needs deeper help getting over things, addictions, traumas, anything like that, relationships, even health-related things as well. So just wanted to share that. So that's at arcanashores.net. This is my new website. And you can also find all the tarot readings there still as well, express readings as well there too. But also today we have our special guest. So let's get down to it. We have Lance Schuttler. It's been a minute since we did a quantum news show. So I'm very excited. I know all of you have been waiting as well. So this is going to be fun. Feel free to throw in your comments. I know it's been a while, so definitely we appreciate all of your support. Today we're going to go over a lot of the things happening in the world, and I really want to get his perspective and see what he feels is going to happen with everything, with the Trump stuff and all the truther stuff. So, yep, here we go. I'm going to bring him in from backstage. Here he is. Here's Mr. Lance Schuttler. How are you doing?
Hey, Kristen. I'm doing well. How about you?
Doing pretty good. It's a beautiful day out here. Very sunny.
Yes, it is. And it's great to be back here. Thank you for the invite, and I'm excited for this.
Yes, well, thanks for coming. It's been a minute, and we'll do more updates for sure occasionally. So thank you. This will be great. And I wanted to ask you a lot about, I know we've talked as great friends and everything about the truther stuff, but I love your perspective and what you feel about everything. Because, we see Trump doing his campaign tour, which is all cool and everything. And then we see Tucker Carlson doing some pretty cool interviews. So there's a lot going on. And then going back to those posts by that special letter of the alphabet, those posts about, the shock of the world. Well, who's the shock of the world? What's going to happen? Like, what is your perspective? Because we've been waiting for so long for things to happen. And I know all of us, everyone in the chat too, we're getting a little frustrated, So I would love for you to share what you feel is going on.
Thanks, Kristen. So, okay, you and I talked about this some months ago, and I'll get into it with where it's going with who I think is going to be the first arrest. That's the main point of what's going to be shared. So, but leading up to that, kind of what I would say is if people haven't seen what Trump posted last night at around 11 o'clock Eastern time, he posted it on his Instagram. I believe it's probably on True Social as well. I haven't checked there. I saw it on Instagram. He made this compilation clip, and you'll see he's coming back soon. Just read between the lines. It's very clear. He's making it very, very apparent. But honestly, everyone go check out that little clip. It's about 60 seconds long, if that. True Social, I'm sure it's on. Instagram, it's for sure on. But it's showing how he's the real one in charge, and he's coming back, I think, very quick and sooner than November of this year.
Oh, I do too. Yes, I hope so. Yes. We'll have to check that out for sure. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I won't spoil it, but it'll tie in directly to this. So again, I do suggest people look at it because it is fascinating, and it was, an exciting video that he posted.
Nice. Yeah, I'm going to check it out. I missed that one. I was already getting to bed at that time. Trump is always up pretty late, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Never sleeps.
I know. He's awesome. Yeah. So tell me more. What do you think is going to happen? Because we see him on, doing these campaigns and stuff. Do you think there's going to be a contest, since we're on YouTube, contest that, this November? Is that really going to go down?
We will see, of course. There's a lot of different perspectives out there. I think it will in some way. Maybe it's not on that day, or maybe it is. It's really hard to tell. But I think, Kristen, that we're going to see what we've all been wanting before that time, which is the arrests of certain people.
Ooh. Yes.
So, this is what, we were kind of talking about, you guys. So back some months ago, and Kristen's a witness to this, there's two other witnesses as well hearing this information. And this is speculation. But what we were talking about was who's going to be the first arrest. In those intelligence drops, they told us the first arrest will shock the world. So I was then thinking, and this was, some months ago, back in the early fall. Okay, well, who is it going to be, and who is it going to be big enough? Who will be big enough to actually shock the world? So if you look at game theory and you just think about, we're on a chessboard right now, there's only certain pieces left. A lot of pieces have been removed. The Queen, Rothschild recently, Kissinger, they're all removed. They're gone.
Yeah.
Um, Publicly, there's still some people out there. And so let's just look at who are the big names still sort of out there. And of course, Trump is one, Biden is one, Obama is one, Hillary is one. There's, Elon, he's another big name,
Mhm.
Soros, Gates, and, people like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, to me, Kristen, kind of looking at those people, and this is a question for you and for everyone in
Mhm.
the audience. If any of those people got arrested right now, would that truly be shocking?
Not so much. It would be just kind of, we'd blow it over like, all right. But yeah, shock of the world. It's going to be biblical, things like that. Like, I wonder, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, we just listed, 6, 7 people right there, and there might be a couple more that might make that list. But let's take the top few. And in my perspective, that would be Trump, Biden, Obama, Hillary. If one of those did, then there would be some sort of shock. But honestly, I don't think much at this point. Trump, no way. But people wouldn't be shocked because it's already sort of, been rolling out where they're going after him publicly. And, we're already seeing that happen. So if it happened, no one, there'd be a lot of people upset, but it wouldn't truly be shocking.
Right.
Biden, no, same thing. It wouldn't be shocking because we can see the insanity of what's going on here. It wouldn't be shocking. It'd be
Yeah.
great. We'd all be celebrating.
Yeah, we'd be laughing.
Many of us would, yes,
Yeah.
and laughing. And then you think about Hillary. That has the potential. Definitely would be shocking for many. But again, it's already sort of been built up where I think that's going to come, but I don't think that she's first. I think that she's a little bit later with
Yeah.
a bunch of others, probably right around the same time. And you think Elon, would that be shocking? No, not really, because there's a lot of
Mhm.
people that don't like him. They'd be celebrating it. And if you think about it, Kristen, people would honestly just move on the next day. Like if
Yeah.
any of those people got arrested, there'd be a lot of people, upset for maybe a day or two, but people would quickly move on because for the most part, from the average person's perspective, it wouldn't really affect their day-to-day life. There'd
Nah.
be downstream effects, but not really like jolting, shocking them awake. So if you think about it, then there's really not many people there.
No.
So we just sort of cross off the big ones. But there's one name that's still out there who we've not brought up, and he's been a little quiet, but he's still there, and his
Yeah.
piece is on the chessboard. And this is something where you just said it's going to be biblical. It's going to need to shock the world. From my perspective, this first arrest would have to be, or could be, someone that's outside of the political realm. Because if you think about it, regardless of the party or whatever, it would just look like the opposite party is going after that person and look very politically motivated, especially with everything that's going on right now. So it's sort of like it's got to be outside of politics to get everyone's attention and to
Yeah.
have people really kind of like really look at this and observe what's going on.
Right.
So I want to ask, yeah, I can see some people put in the comments. So who all do you think is going to be the first? And then I'll get into who I think it's going to be.
Yeah. I can't wait to hear.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We see Connie saying Epstein,
Yes.
Casey saying Zuckerberg,
That's a funny
Taylor
one. There's
Swift,
Zucker. Yeah.
John. Some people are saying the Pope. So John would be, if I'm understanding Sherry right, I think she's referring to JFK Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are saying Oprah, the Supreme
Yep.
Court. Yeah, I mean, these are all really great guesses.
Yeah.
Flynn, yeah, that would be shocking for sure, but he's already sort of been prosecuted, publicly, and he went through the ringer on that. And of course, there's still things happening. Yeah, Fauci, that's another great one for sure.
That is, yeah.
I think his time's coming publicly. I think it already happened privately, but publicly, I think it's a little bit further down the road. People are saying The Rock, Trump, all of them.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
So, all right, we'll end the suspense, Kristen. So
Yeah.
there's a couple people who guessed what I think. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be the Pope.
Yes, and you told me this months ago. I think it was in the summer. But I was like, oh my gosh, like he stopped me in my tracks, and I'm like, that makes perfect sense. It really does. Biblical, shock of the world. It's going to shock people that are not fully awake and have been oblivious in their little bubble. It's going to shock everybody. So amazing. I am like on your team with that one. I know, I feel it. I don't have to do the cards or anything. I feel it. I think you're right on with this one. Yep.
Yeah, we'll see, Kristen. It's a guess. It's we're just having fun with it. If it happens, that'd be amazing. If not, I think it's going to definitely be, I mean, certainly shocking however they do it, regardless of who it is. Like, I think that they are going to fulfill what they said. It's going to shock the world.
Yes.
And again, I think the Pope makes the most sense of all the people left on the chessboard because he's outside of politics. And so it can't look like it's politically motivated from either side. Everyone's heard of the Pope. The news will reach everyone across the world, or nearly everyone, even if they're not, Catholic or Christian, or, even believe in God. People are going to hear about it. And, you hear about the top, quote unquote, religious or spiritual figure on this planet, the Pope, in some people's minds, that would be certainly shockworthy.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, there's something that you reminded me of last night about the what Brandon was saying too.
Yes. Okay. So shortly after I thought about this, Kristen, that we talked about it, and with a couple other people as well, I really was interested. Okay, what's going on with the Pope? And this was after the October 7th, we'll just call it, event in the Middle East. You all know what I'm talking about. It's, what's happening right there between those two countries. I'm just trying to keep your channel safe, Kristen. You all know what countries I'm speaking about. The event that broke out October 7th, between those two Middle East countries. And Brandon was doing a little press, like a press release, getting questions asked and kind of answering them. And one reporter asked, what does the Pope think about this? What's going on? Have you been in communication with him? Because this was a huge thing that happened, a religious conflict. And Brandon, very nonchalant and a little cocky, a little, laid back, he said something along the lines of, I don't have it exactly, but he said, "Oh yeah, the Pope and we're on the same page with everything. We've been in communication and we're working on the same team. We're all on the same page with everything going on right now. We're good." And it was, again, not those exact words, but that was the sentiment. And like he reiterated a few times, like, we're on the same page on all of this.
gosh.
So we know that was, you know, I think it was a real event that happened, but I think there was fakeness also involved in
Yes.
some ways. You know how they do those events,
For sure.
and um, you know, it's something that, I mean, they're telling us, you know, the way that he said that right after that, and they're kind of it was like a seed planted, and that's the way I was really interpreting it. It was like they were trying to tell everyone, hey, Brandon and the Pope and all the people that are, you know, sort of on the same page with this agenda, they're in constant communication, and they're, you know,
Mm-hmm.
together on this. So I think then, you know, that ties into the Pope and allows him to be a central figure in this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I do, yeah, no, for real. And that, what happened there, what he said, that Brandon, that dirty bastard,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like they're so, well, you guys know what we're talking about, that dirtiness, that of the littles and all that stuff, just awful. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Uh, and okay, there's one last part to this too, Kristen. So people ask, okay, well, how is the 2020 contest? How is that going to be exposed and shown for what it was? You know,
yeah,
clearly we know who really won, and you know, it was just a staged fake event.
right, right.
And so people also remember a few days after, maybe a week or so. It might have been a little bit longer than that. I don't quite remember the day, but people will remember this for sure. The Vatican was blacked out, and for blocks all around the Vatican. And there was, you know, cameras that confirmed this. There was
Mhm.
mainstream media that had confirmed it slightly. It was still pretty quiet mainstream wise, but there was confirmation from some. And people also remember that there was a envoy of black SUVs and black vehicles that were coming out of the Vatican, you know, hours later that night. So those streets were all blocked off, and you could see it, blocks all around the Vatican. And it was blacked out too. They cut the electricity, and that was the thing that people will also remember. They cut the electricity, blacked it out. It happened for hours, and then the next
Mhm.
morning, all those black vehicles started rolling out of there one by one, and people will remember that. There was
Mhm.
also, some people will remember this too, and you can look this up. I don't have the name, but it did happen where there was a sworn, autographed, signed testimony from someone in Italy, and it was relating to, I think there was a lawyer involved, and I think that this went to a military. I think it came from a military personnel, where they said that one of the, I'm going to have to be very careful with my words, but one of the contest machines
Yes.
that starts with a D, that company, the one that was, you know, really involved in this stuff, DOM.
Mhm. Yes.
People remember that. Um, that company. So there was a sworn affidavit and a sworn testimony that basically what happened is there was communication that came via those servers and that DOM company.
Mm-hmm.
The night of the 2020 contest, there was communications coming directly from the Vatican. Allegedly, there is a sworn document on this, or a signed document,
Yes.
and people were saying that, you know, there was information coming from the Vatican that night that made its way to the U.S., and it may have influenced the, you know, public perception of what happened on that contest in November of 2020.
Wow. See?
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to just give him his throne back. The emperor
Yes.
needs his throne back.
Right, right. And so the point with that is, okay, how is that information going to come out where they show what really happened, you know? Well, it could be that the first arrest is, you know, the Pope, and
Yes.
it ties into how they did this stuff with that 2020 contest, because again, even revealing that, I'm sure it's, you know, I mean, clearly a very, very tricky thing to do, and perfect timing needs to be involved. And it has to be done in a way where it doesn't look politically motivated whatsoever. You know, that it needs to be done by the law. It needs to be done in a way where people are sort of caught off guard, I think, and where it comes outside of the political system, or close to that. So that also gives more rationale behind the possibility of the Pope being the first one, because then if you show the American people and the world that, hey, that 2020 contest was rigged and set up
Mm-hmm.
by not political figures. I mean, we know they're political at the end of the day, but quote unquote, a religious figure
Yeah.
of the highest degree on this planet, then it sets the precedent for, okay, if the Pope or any of the people around him, or either just higher ups outside of the politics, outside of this country, are
Yeah.
involved, in which we know they are, then it makes it way easier for the military intelligence and authorities to take action here in the US, because it's like, hey, this was an outside threat that happened,
Mm-hmm.
and there was people on the inside that were involved. And so it's sort of like, even the top people here in the US, it's like they got their orders from someone above them, and that
Yep.
person or that entity could have been the Vatican or the
Yeah.
Pope. I mean, we'll see. This is all just speculation,
Yeah.
but there's some thought behind it that it could be that.
Yeah, definitely. And they're all connected. It all, I think, like you just said, it all kind of leads back to him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And people
Mm.
remember from the Rosicrucian doctrines, there's a quote in there, or the Rosicrucian Manifesto, excuse me, and they're talking about the church, and they didn't say the Vatican, but that's who they were talking about. This was back in the 1600s, and the quote is something along the lines, I've said it before, Kristen, I might not get the words exactly right, but it's basically, they say, we accuse the church of the great sin of possessing knowledge and power and using it unwisely. Therefore, we prophesy that they shall fall by the weight of their own iniquities, and the crown shall be brought to naught. Naught. And so you think about the crown. Who's
Yeah.
the crown then? The Pope. He's the top figure on it. So, that's something that also ties in possibly. We'll see, of course. I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but this is just a fun little thing to speculate on and think about.
Yeah, no, and what you just said, like, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And that's a quote for a reason too. And hey, it ties right in.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's biblical. It's all,
Yes.
it's going to be massive, whoever it is.
Yep, that is going to shock the world, the Pope.
Yeah, totally.
Man, I love it. And that's why I wanted you to come on here and say it and do it and tell us your perspective, because it makes perfect sense. It feels right. Yeah. And guys, I have pull cards on it. I know some of you were asking in the chat. And yep, every time and every single time it's a yes.
That's awesome, Kristen. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gene is saying, LOL, all roads lead to Rome. Yeah, they do.
Oh, yes, there it is. Yes, for sure. It does. See? You guys are awesome.
And it makes sense. Why is that quote so popular? I mean, there's reasons for it outside of this, of course. But again, it's all sort of just ties together.
Yep.
All roads do lead back to Rome, and it's going to mean all roads, all the stuff that's happened.
Exactly. Right on there, Michelle. Yep. Perfect sense. Yeah. Awesome. Anything else that you want to share with us on this topic? Because I've got something I'd like to ask you.
No, I think that's it, Kristen. That was fun, though.
Yeah, very cool. So what I want to get to, it's off topic. So we're going back to ASCENT. Let's talk about ASCENT for just a minute here. So as everyone knows, I've gotten over some healing lately, but so I've been double dosing. I don't think I told you this, but double dosing on the algae oil, DHA, the lemon, my favorite one. So it helped me heal the bruising and all of that stuff completely, I think faster than normal, and also helped me sleep better. So with stress and all of that. But is there any new information that you can share with us about the algae oil DHA and how like it does heal skin. It heals skin, everything. Like,
Yes, yes. Cosmetologists actually do call DHA the beauty fat or the beauty fatty acid. Um, because what happens is it actually incorporates in the cellular membrane of the skin. So,
okay,
and in the brain too, the neurons, like we've talked about this before, but that fatty acid actually makes up part of the skin, and so it can have that healing process. And
got-
so people use it for skin health. You can actually apply that stuff topically, Kristen.
oh shoot, I should have done
Yeah,
that too.
yeah. Now,
Okay.
the lemon one would be the one you'd want to do. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
it's organic cold pressed lemon peel oil, and it's such a small amount that it covers up the taste great, but it also isn't going to be too harsh on the skin for most people,
Right.
and can actually have beneficial skin properties too.
Okay.
Yeah,
See,
yeah,
topical. Darn, I should have done that. But it really did heal me from the inside out. And then always it helps with my intuition, just to think more clearly. So it's still my favorite. So I just wanted to thank you for always having the algae oil DHA. It's
of
the
course.
best. Yeah. And I'm gonna throw the link, the affiliate link in the chat, you guys, just so you guys use that one. But yeah,
Yeah,
thank you
thanks,
so
Kristen.
much.
It is. It's such a great product, and we've talked about it so much before. So many people, even watching right now, have
Yeah.
used it or are using it, and it truly does impact the brain massively. Like it is what they call the momentary memory molecule. They also call it, I mean, several other names, but what that means is that fatty acid gets into the neurons and it helps
Mhm.
speed up the communication between neurons. And so when that happens, everything functions better. Everything, not just brain health and memory, but you're literally speeding up and
Yep.
enhancing the communication between all the cells, especially in the neurons, the nervous system. It's how our body communicates, part of it. And so when you do that, it strengthens that communication network, strengthens the nervous system, the brain, the eyes, of course. We know that fatty acid gets into the eyes too, just like the skin. So it really is universal. And that's why they call it an essential fatty acid. You have to get it in the diet. And I mean, it's very hard to get it, even eating a bunch of salmon.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, oh my gosh, you'd
Yeah.
have to eat a lot of it, but it's
Yeah.
it's so much easier just to take the algae oil for sure.
Yeah,
And
for
then,
sure.
when you said speeding up everything, yes, I feel that. Even just talking about communication, like just being creative, I feel like it might even speed up my actions, my thought process, my actions, like getting things done. Like I
Yes.
really do.
Yes, it absolutely does. You can feel it, especially over time.
Yeah.
And, so if people are using fish oils, this is one that you can switch to if you wish, because it's from the algae. So fish eat the algae, and so fish
Mhm.
oils are the secondhand source. We just cut that out and we go to the source, which is the algae. So it's super pure and clean. Kristen, it is the cleanest omega-3 product on the market. And
Yes.
I've said that, several times, but we've got it backed up. We show the COA on the site right
Mhm.
there. We show the testing results of heavy metals and microbes. You can see it all right there. Show it publicly and transparently. We're proud of that because we do know that it's the cleanest one out there, and we want to show people that. Especially pregnant nursing mothers and children
Yep.
need to get that. But all of us deserve, and especially them, deserve the
Mhm.
cleanest stuff out there because it is so important for the developing brain and baby and
Yep.
child after they're born, that you want to give a person, especially them, the cleanest stuff possible.
Definitely. It's the best thing. It's my favorite thing too from Ascent, but it's the best thing that you can do for your body for sure. From the
Yeah,
brain, everything throughout your body. Just like I said, even your skin, your nails, your hair, all of it,
yeah,
eyes. Like it's so amazing. So yeah, I wanted to touch on that just a little bit.
yeah.
Can't have
Thanks,
you here
Kristen.
and not touch on Ascent.
Yes, and we've got so many exciting things happening, Kristen.
Yeah.
Amazing things coming up. Uh, New products coming too, of course, but just really expanding things. The website's getting a lot better as well. Just awesome stuff.
Yes, I'm so excited. And even over the holidays, I got my watch on, but the watch had come out, the red light therapy. So even that helps too with inflammation. Like I just do it all, but I can tell a big difference when I really stick to it. It really helps. So you guys check out Ascent Nutrition for sure. My links are underneath the video as well as in the chat too for the affiliate. So pretty cool. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks, Kristen. And there's some personal stuff happening too on my end with a lot of
Mm,
paperwork. We've talked a little bit about it,
yes.
and in due time that will also become public, and it relates more to bringing justice to
Mhm.
people who have been doing wrong to good people. And it's sort of politically, there's some politics involved a little bit, but it's more on a societal level. And it'll be quite alarming for some people in a good way. Like, this is going to be
Yeah.
justice being served, and it's a necessary thing.
Yeah, it is. What you're doing. I'm not going to say it, but what he's doing is amazing, and I can't wait till the day you can share it with everyone because it's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. And we're not trying to, like, uh drop hints here. I mean, I am trying to drop hints, but I'm not trying to, like, um I don't know the best way to say it. I'm just trying to give people a heads up
Yeah.
that this stuff is coming, and it's going to come out, and it's going to be great, and it will impact several different people for sure.
Yes. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And then what I'm gonna do, Kristen, is I'm gonna
Mhm.
share that knowledge and that information of what I did and how I did it
Yes.
to people so that they can do it themselves, and so that they can protect themselves from people trying to infringe on them, whether it's through legal action or political stuff or things like this. And by the way, this is nothing that I'm selling. I'm not selling
Yeah.
anything with this, you guys. This is truly me taking a stand for humanity and life,
Yep.
and for people who are doing the right thing and who have been completely taken advantage of.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Lots of I'm very proud for you. Really.
yeah.
You're
Thanks,
doing
Kristen.
amazing things behind the scenes.
Yeah, and there's some exciting stuff just ahead, and it will be very shocking to the people who get the information.
Exactly. Yes. Very cool. Yeah, I can't wait till we have you on for that information.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yes. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we wrap this show up?
I think that's it. That was
Yeah.
awesome, Kristen. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for
Yeah.
everyone in the chat for the love. Great to see you all. Truly, thank you guys.
Yeah,
We'll be
definitely.
doing more updates for sure. And I mean, Kristen, we're now, it's 3/11,
Yes.
March 3rd or March 11th, and that means we're less than 8 months until that big contest. And so either way, like, he's either going to win that and come back, or he's going to come back before that. So it's
Yeah.
like every day the hourglass is losing another grain of sand, and it's great. It's speeding up now too.
Exactly. It is speeding up fast, and he's going to be
Yeah.
back before we know it.
Yeah, I think so too. And again, you guys check out the video that he posted on his Instagram. Interesting stuff. But again, Kristen, like, kind of lastly, we
Yes.
know all of that's fake, even all of that. Like,
Mhm.
those agencies and all of that stuff was actually taken out back in 1999. It's a whole nother
Yep.
topic. We talked a little bit about it. There's I'll get into that separately, but you know what I'm talking about. Some
Oh yeah.
people watching do as well. But all these entities, these corporations, these fake corporations and fake agencies were taken out back in 1999 lawfully and done by the book. And they
Mhm.
actually have just been running a complete ghost machine this whole time and pulling it over all of us. But
Man.
they've been caught by the people who know, and it will come out eventually.
Yeah. Definitely. It's about to.
Yep, it
For sure.
sure is.
Yeah, and you guys, so you guys have to keep up because Lance is going to also, you're going to be doing a lot of stuff on your own channels too. So all the things are in the description of the video. His links to his YouTube channel, his website, personal website, and Ascent. But it's all there for you. His Instagram. So make sure you guys all follow Lance because there's a lot that he's going to be unraveling, and it's not just Ascent. So pretty cool.
Thanks, Kristen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you for coming. And I think that's a wrap on my end, too.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye.